Hello everybody, I hope this finds you well. The good folk at productreview.com.au sent me this vacuum for assessment, and I've got to apologise. I think I'm about to ruin some people's day, but my assessment overall is I can't recommend buying this vacuum cleaner. Its storage occupies a whole lot of real estate. Its storage mount is feeble. You can see it wibbly wobbling everywhere, and anyone with animals, dogs or kids knows that will end up getting broken eventually. This is marketed towards pet owners, animal owners, and towards that end I think it's a complete fail. Let me explain. I left our lounge room floor to accumulate some garbage, rubbish, etc. like that over the course of a few days. I am a pet owner. Currently we have 2 dogs and a cat, all of whom are indoor animals. It's springtime in Australia, and as such the bulk of the mess that our animals bring into the house in their coats are grass seeds, weed seeds, leaf rubbish from the gardens and trees, and we're in an outback dusty environment, so obviously there's going to be dust and dirt all over the place. And so yeah, I've left this accumulate for a few days so that I've got something to demonstrate to you. That mark on the carpet is from a visiting dog. Unfortunately, that's the first strike against the vacuum. It's marketed towards pet owners, and anyone that owns dogs and cats and that sort of thing knows that pets do make messes. Even the most well-behaved, well-trained pet, every now and then in its lifetime, has a slip-up in potty training, so to speak, while they're learning. It would have been lovely to have been able to shampoo the carpet, get down on hands and knees and scrub it with some water and some chemicals to bring out that mark without having to have the carpets professionally cleaned, and then be able to vacuum up the waste, the mess. Unfortunately, for the expensive price tag and for all of its innovation, this Dyson vacuum falls short in that one area. It is not a wet and dry vacuum. It will not vacuum up water or liquid waste. It does vacuum hardwood surfaces, linoleum, tile, hard surfaces generally. It's excellent. I can't fault it on its performance there. But bring it onto carpet, and that's where you start to have your first issue. Now here I've got to tell you, I did make a blunder. I made a slip up, and I'll own that mistake. I forgot to plug in the microphone. You can see it dangling down by my feet. That was an extension to the microphone, so there was a portion plugged into the camera, so the camera's microphone isn't working. However, that extension lead wasn't plugged into my microphone. That's my blunder, but unfortunately you can't have any audio from the video. I'm sorry, I didn't intend it to be this way. This is a genuine slip up. You wouldn't have heard an accurate sound recording anyway, because the microphone that I'm using picks up my voice excellently, but it does a great job of shielding the recording from ambient noise, so I do apologise for that. Unfortunately, what you're seeing here is a second strike against the vacuum, and that's that it just generally doesn't vacuum up that well. It's got a huge amount of suction on the carpet, but once you turn that suction into brushes rolling or whatever is happening, it doesn't seem to be able to pick up the grass seeds and the rubbish without a lot of effort, going over them a lot of times. And as I said, this vacuum cleaner, it's quite a workout to use. It's got an enormous amount of suction, which is why it's great on hardwood floors, but put it onto carpet and it's like driving with the handbrake on. You've got to physically work it, pull it back. When you pull it back, it lifts off, see? It's sticking to the carpet. To pull it back, it lifts up. So to work it forward and back is actually a lot of effort. It's quite a workout. For that reason, I don't recommend it for the disabled or for the elderly, or basically for anyone that just wants to do a quick vacuum, trouble free. It is a disappointment in that regard. And I'm sure you can see that that vacuum sucking power that I was speaking of, it sticks to the carpet with a lot of force. This room has only got a small carpeted area, but you will be huffing and puffing from the exertion over a larger carpeted area. You need a lot of, well, it is a workout. Genuinely, it is a workout. It's not a quick 5-minute vacuum, easy and trouble-free without raising a sweat. Now, I admit that grass seeds are not the easiest thing to vacuum up, but it shouldn't be this difficult either. I had to linger over grass seeds in some occasions of this video, you'll see. I had to make multiple passes over an area. It's not just grass seed, but that's the predominant waste that we have in spring. We have a big yard. It is a bagless technology vacuum, and unfortunately the waste storage chamber on this vacuum is its third strike against it. It's only small. Just to recap, I've given it a strike against it because of its storage design and storage system. I've given it a strike against it for not being a wet and dry vac, as it's marketed towards pet owners as an animal vacuum. And now I've given it a strike for its waste storage management. One good thing about it though is that this vacuum carpet head that you're looking at now actually has a fairly low profile. It's not that high, and so it fits under small spaces, and the vacuum cleaner itself, the wand, the head, the whole lot combined, folds pretty flat, reasonably flat, so you can get under most things to vacuum up, and certainly beds and that sort of thing, that's not an issue. The issue is, for all its immense sucking vacuuming ability, it doesn't actually seem to be able to clean the carpets that well. However, as I was saying, it has a low profile head and it does get under most pieces of furniture quite easily. Just a quick follow-on comment about that stain there. I don't want to be able to shampoo the whole carpet and vacuum it up with this vacuum, but I would like to be able to get down on hands and knees over that stained area and be able to wet dry vacuum up the shampoo that I've put on there, or be able to vacuum up a dog's urine in the first place or something like that. I've got to say that the dog that made that mark was not because of poor training, it's because it's an old dog and it's incontinent. Also, again, I've got to remind you that this review is from an animal owner's perspective about a product that's marketed towards animal owners specifically. With regard to the waste chamber, it's simply not that big. Physically it's huge, but the usable area is only small. It's got this silly infrastructure inside. It's a high-rise. I don't understand the point of it. You can see I'm filled up to the max fill line there, so I need to empty it out. This is where we again encounter issues of quality versus value for money and the price tag you pay. For the average Australian sized home, this means that for every second or third usage, you would need to empty this out. That's not typically a problem. However, for this vacuum cleaner, its waste system is secured by a single plastic catch, which is cheap feeling and with repetitive use could become a break hazard. I'll explain about that momentarily. First though, for the sake of fairness and balance, I'll again say this vacuum cleaner does do an excellent job on hard surfaces such as linoleum, tile, and wood floors. At the start of the video I showed you how the storage unit was all on one single cheap and flimsy storage hook. This is the manufacturer's suggested way of carrying the vacuum. Again, the wand is held by that single flimsy hook. It's time to empty out the waste chamber. First off, we have to take off the handle, and slow motion will be needed for a few seconds here, so bear with me. You can see the red chamber release mechanism through the clear plastic handle. In slow motion, you push the button, you pull up the chamber away from the vacuum cleaner. The chamber telescopes. See, it falls down, it becomes longer. All unnecessary engineering that we're paying for here. So now this has fallen down the chamber, and when it's fallen down, it's knocked loose a bit of dust from either the end of the pipe or the end of the chamber. I'm not sure which, but sure enough, we'll move this away and you'll see what I'm talking about. Again, this is all unnecessary engineering. I don't understand it. This is useless patent technology to me, and it's reflected in the price tag. But there you can see mess from the waste chamber vessel. It's either from the end of that pipe that you're looking at there now, or from the bottom of the waste chamber vessel itself. Waste chamber collection vessel. Gee, that sounds a bit funny. I think I'll call it a dustbin for ease. That's what it is, it's a dustbin. The first time this telescopic action happened, it caught me by surprise. The dustbin became longer and I couldn't understand why. I'll explain how the integrity of the dustbin relies on one single cheap plastic catch. That whole unit is held together by that one plastic catch. The first time I emptied out dustbin, that caught me out unawares because the unit telescoped out with such force that one plastic catch let go, and I ended up with a whole puddle of mess over the vacuum and the floor. This product has lots of innovations, but as customers we pay for these innovations. Push the button, the floor opens up, the bottom of the chamber opens up, the waste falls out. I'm not certain if that's necessary or not. I think that could be a little bit of extravagance that we're paying for. As I said, I think that we're paying for technology. I mentioned that in the first video when I reviewed all of the bits and pieces and the assembly of the vacuum. Now I have to get a completely conventional dustpan and broom just to clean up the mess that's made by the vacuum cleaner from emptying its waste chamber. This product has some great features, But things like this smack of being over-engineered and patent technology that make it hideously expensive in the first place. I changed my mind against the dustpan and think that, hey, I've got a vacuum cleaner here, I might as well just vacuum up the mess. In my written review on productreview.com.au, great service, I asked the question, am I comparing apples to oranges? Because my old vacuum cleaner, which we're looking at now, is an upright. Well, that upright has everything on it that I need stored in the one place. It just sits occupies a small amount of real estate, sits against the wall, and everything I want, all the attachments I want, are stored on it. I find myself guilty as charged of comparing apples, oranges, and lemons. This Dyson is a messy sprawl that occupies a lot of real estate in the house. I have to change heads away from the carpet cleaning head to the hard surface cleaning head, but it gets worse. I've had to change carpet cleaning head to hard floor cleaning head to clean up the mess from emptying out the waste from the vacuum cleaner in the first place. And now it's occupying a huge amount of real estate in a sprawl, and it'd stay like that unless I put the carpet cleaning head back on, because only the carpet cleaning head has the hook for storage in the first place, that flimsy hook that's going to break. The dustbin won't go back into place unless it's shortened, and sometimes it jams a bit. So this is my review of the Dyson cinetic the Dyson cinetic Big Ball Animal Plus vacuum cleaner. I don't think that it's worth the money. I think it's a great vacuum. It's a lot of innovation, but you're paying for that. And to be absolutely honest, as far as value for money goes, all customers want is something that does the job well. And I think you'll get the same result or better from something a lot cheaper. That's me. You might disagree. Anyway, that's my review. One last thing before I let you go, folks. Please join the building community on the Facebook page, Australian Outback Proving Ground, and also please hit the subscribe button. I'm not going to ask you to hit the bell button because I hate that myself. There's enough bells, dings, pops and whistles in the world as it is. Do your best to give each other a great day, and I'll catch up with you next time on Australian Outback Proving Grounds. Have a good day. Bye.